Hey guys, it's coffee time. This is the fourth mug I've used today because I have been very inefficient with my mugs. If I were to have thought it through, I would have taken one mug, Kitty. I hope you guys heard that because that was so cute. It was literally the second I started talking, he was like, oh, scratching post? Butthole. I was going to say that if I was smart, I would have just taken the same mug and rinsed it out, regardless of whether I wanted tea or coffee next. But I didn't do that. I just got a new mug every time I decided I wanted a different drink, and that was silly. That's all I was going to say, cat. Oh, he's looking at me like, do you not like me anymore? I have some Sherlock cat stories. I'm going to tell you what we did last night, but I have some Sherlock cat stories. So one of them is that today I was on a Skype call with a friend, and out of nowhere, I was like in the middle of a story, and I hear Sherlock just going, bleh, 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 bleh. And I was like, I don't even know if I want to turn around. I turn around, and he has vomited. So, and he doesn't vomit very often. Some people have cats that vomit all the time, or like have hairballs all the time. Sherlock, I could probably count on one hand the number of times that I have seen him like spit up anything or vomit anything. This was the first time I had ever seen him like full on vomit up like his last meal. I was like, what happened to you? Did you just like overeat? Like, did you eat too fast? Because I know that's a thing. I don't know. So I had to be like, I'm gonna go clean up my cat's vomit. I'll call you back. Click. So that was a great moment. And of course it got all over the carpet. It wasn't just in like one tiny spot. It was like spread out. Just little pieces here and there. And I was like, why did you do this? Why have you done this to me? Come on, kitty. And of course I was concerned at the same time because I never see him do that. So I was also being crazy cat mom and like following him around and like scratching him and petting him and being like, are you okay? Are you feeling okay? And he was like, fine. You just sit by the window, just be like, pfft. So he's been acting fine for the rest of the day. But I did notice, I think I told you guys this already, I did notice that his gums are really red again. So I'm going to, the last time that this happened, the vet was like, you know, normally people notice this when their pets stop eating as much. And I was like, Sherlock always eats. There's never a moment when that cat is not eating as much. He loves food. And the vet was like, that surprises me because normally when cats have this issue with their gums, it hurts to eat. And so when I noticed that his gums were red again, I was like, how does this keep happening? And number B, how are you still eating so much and so quickly? I don't understand. So yes, I'm gonna have to take him back in and be like, look, his gums are red. Also, he like vomited a lot the other day. It was very weird. And I just want to make sure that he's like okay and doesn't have some sort of like a parasite all up in him. I don't know. Second Sherlock cat story, which I think is the better story. So this morning I woke up at like 5:30 in the morning. I don't know what woke me up, but I sat up, and normally what I do, for whatever reason, maybe because I'm trying to find something to solidify me back in the real world, is I normally look to see if I can find the cat. I'll like sit up and look around, and then I'll see the cat, and he'll always wake up when I wake up, and it's adorable. But so I wake up at 5:30 in the morning, and I sit up, and I'm looking around, and I see him sitting, it's like out of a horror movie, guys, sitting up against the wall, face up against the wall, just sitting there, staring at the wall. And I was like, Kitty! Sherlock! Kitty! He just sits there stone cold, does not move. I was like, what is happening to you? And so, of course, I'm still like just foggy enough that I'm like, I hope my cat didn't get possessed by nothing because I don't want to die tonight. But I'll go over there and check. So like, I walk over and I like scritch his little neck. I'm like, Kitty. And he like looks at me very like glances and then looks back at the wall. Just sits there. was like, what is happening with you? And I realized that there was a spider. Okay, so here's the wall. Let's do this in a way where you can see. Here's the wall. Here's Sherlock Cat's face. Like, they're just, like, really close to each other. Now, on the wall, right in between, right in front of his nose, is this huge spider. And I was like, just slowly back away. And then I got concerned. I was like, wait, if this spider bites Sherlock, I'm going to feel awful. It's like, what do I do? Like, So I'm sitting there. My cat's like stone cold, staring at the spider. I'm sitting there, like, what do I do? How do I get, if I move Sherlock, I might spook the spider, and I don't want to lose it. I want to make sure that I, like, trap it and take it outside, or, I don't know, depends on what kind it is. Maybe it's aggressive. If it's aggressive, then I need to just kill it, because otherwise it'll chase me. It's like, okay. So then, the best moment, while I'm going through all of these different scenarios in my mind, the spider moves ever so slightly, and Sherlock just slaps it. And it just falls. Just falls to the ground. And Sherlock's just like, achieved, and walks away. It's like, guess I'll go back to bed. Apparently this problem solved itself. But that's why, later, when Sherlock vomited, I was like, did you eat that spider? Maybe that spider made you vomit. Maybe that spider has something weird in it. Give you food poisoning. Maybe you shouldn't eat that. My cat has been eating all the insects lately because there have been so many flies in my room. So every time there's a fly, he's like, oh yeah, dinner? Dinner? Silly Sherlock cat. So those are my Sherlock cat stories. I hope that you enjoy those. But let me tell you about what I did last night because it was very fun. So I wound up going to this dinner that was Donkey Kong themed, and it was fantastic. There were only 6 of us. It was like a filmed thing. We wound up filming the whole thing, and it was a potluck. Everybody had to bring something that fit the theme of a Donkey Kong dinner. So my thing to bring was cocktails, which was very fun. I tried to get, okay, my friend Isaac is kind of a self-taught mixologist. So I was like, Isaac, I need ideas for a Donkey Kong drink. Like, what do you think would be a good Donkey Kong drink? And he goes, oh, you should do, like, some barrel-aged liquor. That would be really cool. Like, that wouldn't be just the standard, banana aspect of it. You could go for the barrel aspect. And I was like, oh, that sounds dope. Where would I get that? And he goes, oh, you don't get that. You just, you make it, you age liquor in a barrel. And I was like, no, that's work. Isaac, come on. I was like, this is a potluck. Come on, Isaac. So I wound up doing the standard that I learned from Ro. And it's so funny because at the time that I learned it from her, we didn't know it was a thing. And then we wound up having a bunch of people over, and Ro made this drink, and somebody goes, oh, you're making Bahama Mamas. And Ro was like, is that what this is called? Because I just know it's delicious. So now all of us realized that we know how to make a drink that actually exists called Bahama Mamas. It's basically just Malibu rum and then a bunch of different fruit juices. But I was like, this is a tropical thing, and it tastes really good, and why not? I'm just going to make that. And so I did. That was my cocktail that I brought. It was very fun. It was great. It was hosted by Jimmy Wong, who I've never met. Literally everybody at this dinner I had never met before. And that was really cool because, again, you guys know that when I'm in situations where I don't know anybody, it's very easy for me to get, like, a little bit anxious. So I've been trying to put myself into those situations more often, especially when it has to do with work, because then I can focus on something else. It's not like, hey, you should come to this party where you don't know anybody. It's, hey, you should come to this shoot that is kind of framed around a party situation, because that way everybody's still interacting and mingling with each other, and there's still that kind of casual feeling to it, but it's still work. There's still a framework that helps me focus, at least. So it was really fun to go because I met Jimmy, I met Megan, Strawberry 17, and it's funny because I had watched her before I started YouTube, and now it turns out that she watches me, that she's a fan of mine, and so if you're watching this, Megan, hi, you're so adorable and I love you. But that was really cool. I was like, oh, I know who you are. And she was like, I know who you are. And we talked about Anime Expo and all sorts of stuff, and that was great. And I met Andre Black Nerd, who's been on all sorts of stuff, Luke Connard, and it was great. It was just super fun. And all the food was delicious. BT dubs. Oh, Katie Wilson, too. Oh my gosh. I would have felt awful if I forgot her. Whoops. Yes, all of us. We all went. And it was cool. I got to like meet new people and eat a lot of food. Oh my gosh. It was so great. It was so much food. And the place that we shot at, it didn't belong to any of us, but it was gorgeous. It was this beautiful house up in the hills. And when you're driving up the hill where all those super huge houses are, you just feel a little overwhelmed. Like driving up there, I was like, one day, I'm gonna own one of these houses. Like, I don't even want a big house, but when you're driving through all these huge houses, you're like, this is a measure of success. The size of the house gives you a good idea of their success. It's like, I want a successful house. Like, just want that. Can I have that? But I know in the end, I don't want like a big house. I want like something cozy. And I know that if it was too big, it'd be overwhelmed immediately. But driving up there, oh my goodness, there were so many huge houses. Huge! And those drives, the streets are so thin. I don't know how people don't drive off the hill all the time. Honestly, it was petrifying. It's just like, and in all honesty, I don't think I want to live up here. Like, these houses are gorgeous, but but overall, it was so much fun. Overall, it was so much fun. It was great. And yeah, I have new friends now. New people that go to all the same conventions, so we can all like hang out and it'll be great. And yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that happened yesterday. Oh, we've got the Pacific Rim project is going now. We can actually like talk about it. It's so exciting. And right now there is a vote going on for what weapon goes on which Jaeger. So I explained this in a video, which I can link you to in the description, but put a video up on Press Heart yesterday. It was basically saying that we're doing a project where all of the mech robots in Pacific Rim are called Jaegers, and they're piloted by two people. So our Jaeger is Jesse Cox and I, and it's called the Shameless Fox. And I love it. We have the best name. We have the best color scheme. Everything. Everything is great. And yes, so shoot, what was I going to say? Oh, but so we're doing a vote, and you guys get to vote on which out of 4 weapons, which weapon is like our finishing move. So that's been kind of cool. So far the sword is in the lead by like a large margin, I think, which is hilarious. Everybody was like, well, Dodger is fairly anime, so she might as well have the most anime weapon. But the thing is that anybody who's watched Gurren Lagann is like, the drill is obviously the far more anime weapon. Like, there's just like this big old battle going on right now, and I'm like, this is great. But the sword is winning. Let's be honest. In the end, the sword is winning, and there's nothing that we can do about it, and it's fine. But who knows? Maybe a different one will come out on top. Maybe. Yeah. So now, we just did Manga Pod, and I am going to go to a goodbye party for a friend. It's very sad, and yeah, that's gonna be the rest of my night. But seriously, oh my gosh, you guys, you should read Gangsta. Gangsta, period, is the name of the manga that we read this week, and it was so good. I loved it. I thought it was great. So you should read that. It's a little bit violent, so if you don't like that, don't read it. But I think the art is fantastic and the characters are amazing, and I just really loved it. I got really sucked in, blasted through it. So yeah, that's your anime manga homework. And I'm gonna go to this goodbye party. And I hope that you guys had a great day the last couple of days. And I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye. Mwah.